Hello everyone, welcome to Long's Toys. I have another Uchu Sentai Kyuranger review for you today. This is the DX Q the Weapon. And every time I hear that it makes me think of like Q the music. But in any case, it's Q the Weapon, Q being the Japanese word for 9 because it has 9 different forms, which is pretty impressive, I have to say, for one roleplay toy. That's pretty cool. And it also comes with an exclusive Q-Tama right here. Now, I'm probably pronouncing this wrong, but it looks like it's Boeing Q. Boeing Kyo, I'm sorry. Boeing Kyo Q-Tama. So, it's the telescope. I'm going to call it telescope from now on, so I don't have to continually butcher that. But yeah, it's a telescope. But it looks pretty cool. Nice picture up here of all the Kyurangers except Red, because he's on the front. Cool, pretty much a standard picture that we've been getting on the bottom of most of the roleplay weapons. And then here we have Shishi Red with the sword. Pretty much same thing on this side as well. And then on the back it just shows the 3 pieces that you use to make all the different modes. And then it shows them all here. So we'll take a look at all those. Plus, of course, we'll take a look at the Q-Tama with the Seiza Blaster. And we'll take a look at the inside light for the screen that it has. But yeah, so a lot of cool stuff in here. Very neat little role-play toy. So let's get out of the packaging and we'll take a closer look. Alright, so this is everything you get here in the box. Taking a look quick at the Q-Tama that you get. Number 20. Has a nice holofoil sticker there. And then here is the telescope. Here's the kind of half filled in version. And then twisting it to fill it all the way in. Pretty cool. Taking a look at the picture when you shine the light through. Now I assume that's supposed to be like a field of stars as seen through the eyepiece of a telescope. But to me it looks like a cross between like a scope of a gun and a Dragon Ball. It's definitely the first thing that I thought of when I saw that. But I assume it's supposed to be, you know, just a starry night as seen through the eyepiece of a telescope. So it's pretty cool. I like it a lot. It's definitely a very cool Q-Tama. I'm going to put him off to the side for now. We'll bring him back in a little bit later. But these are the 3 main pieces. This is kind of like the axe section slash sword slash claw that's used for a bunch of stuff. Then you kind of have the top of the sword. I really like the dark blue, very super glittery versions, or parts, I should say. It's still a nice solid plastic. I mean, it's slightly flimsy so that you wouldn't really hurt anybody, but it's still pretty solid. It's not like overly flimsy that I don't think it would warp, depending on how you store it. But I think they just did a really cool job of making it look like a night sky or space or something with the really dark blue and then the kind of glitter to look like stars. I really like that a lot. Very cool. And then, of course, this is the main section. You have a LED in here, which lights up. This is where you attach the Q-Tama, which we'll take a look at in a minute. On and off switch is here on the back. This is where you put the 2 AAA batteries that it requires. And speaker is very obviously right here in the front. And then you have this other piece that comes down. This is definitely a flimsier plastic. It's not as solid as the plastic on these 2 pieces. This is definitely kind of flimsier, and I think that's just because of how wide it is. It can't possibly be as solid just because of, you know, how thin it is. But that folds up there into the kind of handle or guard for your fingers. But it actually fits my hand pretty decently, and I have a pretty large hand. You have a trigger here and you have a trigger here. They both do the same thing. When you press one, it kind of moves the other one. Because depending on what mode you have it in, it's sometimes easier to hit one than the other, but they do the same thing. So going ahead and just turning this on, here's the switch. So you have a little red LED right there. If you hit the trigger, it just kind of makes a generic slash sound. It sounds like a sword. But that's not really, when you first turn it on, it's not really in any of the 9 modes. That's just kind of a default sound. So the first one we'll do, you hold the trigger down to change between modes. So the first one you heard was Q Sword. Take this, plop that on top, and then put this one on top of that. And there you have Q Sword. This one's kind of my favorite. I just think it's the most fleshed out just because it uses all the pieces and it looks really sturdy and really impressive. It's actually a pretty decent length for a Japanese sword roleplay toy. They're usually very short. I feel like this one's actually pretty decent. When you hit the trigger, you just get that one generic slash sound and the light lights up. When you put the Q-Tama on, I'll go ahead and just do it real quick. So you get like a final attack sound. Now, unfortunately, the final attack is the same for all 9 modes. It doesn't matter which mode you're in. If you plop the Q-Tama on, that's the final attack sound that you're going to get. So that's kind of a bummer. I was hoping that each one would have a unique one. Each one does have a unique sound when you press the trigger one time, but the special attack is the same for everybody. To take it off, there's these little black buttons on both sides. You just press them in, it falls right off very easily, so that's nice. Oh, the other thing I wanted to show real quick. If you try to change modes, like to another weapon while this is still connected, it just does it again. And if you pop the Q-Tama off in the middle, it'll just cancel it right out. So you can only change modes when there's not a Q-Tama connected. So the next one we'll do is Q-Spear. So you're going to take these off, take this piece off, connect this, and then fold out the bottom part. And then it's kind of like a spear. Not the best. This is definitely not one of my favorite modes, but, you know, it is what it is. That's your kind of slashing attack sound. And just to prove my point, same. It's like a kind of combination of like a slash, a jab, a explosion, just kind of generic. So that's it for the spear. Next up, Q-Claw. I should say that the spear is for the orange Kyuranger. Sasori. Next up, the Q-Claw is for Okami Blue. You're going to take this, fold that up like that, and then you're actually going to turn this upside down and then connect that like that. So this is definitely one of the ones where you're going to use the other trigger button. I don't know why he holds it upside down like this instead of just like flipping this 180 degrees and then holding it like that. I don't know. But there you go. There's your sound for Q-Claw. Holding the button down. Q-Crossbow. Q-Crossbow, which is for 10 Bing Gold. Gonna just flip these up, and there you go. Your Q-Crossbow. I kind of like this one. I think this one kind of works. It gets the point across. Kind of makes a pretty unique sound like that, so I like that a lot. Pretty cool. Let's see what's next. Q-Axe for Oshi Black. Pop this off. Pop it on top. Boom. You got the axe. This one's not bad either, in my opinion. It definitely looks like an axe. Pretty good sound effects there, so I like that one too. Q-Sickle is pretty neat. You're going to take this part off and put that off to the side. You're going to take this, flip it like that, pop it there, and then bring this down, and it kind of resembles a sickle. This is for Hibitsukai Silver. Not really sure what that sound effect is. It almost sounds like something's like whipping around like a boomerang or something. I don't know. That one's a little weird. But the sickle mode's not terrible. Obviously, it's very similar to the spear, considering the spear is just going like that. So, it's very similar to the spear. But it's not terrible. Alright, so for Q-Rapier, this is for Chameleon Green. Pop this off. Turn it around. That's Q rapier. Now, obviously, on the show, this part gets much longer, and I think if this could get a little bit longer, like maybe had some kind of telescoping feature or something, this mode could be cool, because I do like the idea of like a fencing type sword with a very thin blade, which is basically what this is trying to be. It's just, you know, this is just too short. But it could be neat. Again, you can probably use the other trigger. And I like that sound. I think that's a great kind of fencing rapier sound to get. So I like that one. It's just a shame that the blade is so short. Next we have Q Shot, which is for Washi Pink. This is it. She definitely gets the short end of the stick. It's just this as a gun. Not bad. I mean, you know, it could be worse, but I feel like even if they could have done something where, you know, maybe they put like this. You can't, unfortunately, you can't connect this one like this. You could only do it like that. But I feel like even if they did something like that, just to make the gun a little bit longer, just to do something. This is just kind of a bummer on its own. And then last but certainly not least, Q Slasher, which is for Kajiki Yellow. Just pop that on top, and it's kind of like a little dagger, like a little version of the sword. So, this one's not bad. I like this alright. Just kind of like a little dagger. I think it kind of works. Not terrible. So that's it for the 9 different modes. If you hit the button again, you just loop back around to Q Sword. So I think it's pretty cool. I like the fact that each of the different modes has its own attack sound. I appreciate that. I would have loved it if they each had their own special move as well, but unfortunately the kind of special attack is the same for all 9. But overall, pretty good. I definitely like the design, and I think the sounds that we do get are pretty cool. So here we go, taking a look at the telescope Q-Tama here in the Seiza Blaster. Go ahead and pop it in. Sorry, my lights are going a little crazy. So it doesn't say the name at the end because it's not one that is used for a Ranger transformation. So Boinkyo, I guess. I'm still not pronouncing it correctly, but there you go. The Seiza Blaster pronounces it correctly for me. So, same docking sounds as always. If we hold the trigger button down, so definitely some interesting sounds for the movement of the Voyager. Kind of sounds like a weird screech. I'm not really sure what that would be. I really like that attack sound. I think that's pretty cool. And pretty generic attack sound for the Galaxy attack. But yeah, there we have the sounds for the I still can't get this. Boinkyo Q-Tama, the telescope. So, very cool. I like it a lot. I love the picture on here. I like the picture when you shine the light through. Very interesting sounds here. I just can't pronounce the name of it. So I actually like this toy quite a bit. I think the fact that you have one roleplay weapon that has 9 modes is pretty impressive. Even if some of those modes are not the best. I mean, they worked with what they had, and I think they did a pretty good job. As far as like the different modes go, I really like the sword, I like the crossbow, I like the axe. I kind of like the sickle, even though it's very similar to the spear, but the fact that that one kind of piece twists over, I don't know, just kind of gives it a little bit more definition to me. I even like the slasher. I think that's about it. So I would say I probably like about, 5 or 6 out of the 9 modes. The rapier could be cool if that blade could just maybe extend out a little bit, because I do like the idea of a fencing sword. It's just the fact that the blade is so short. But that's a common problem with a lot of Sentai roleplay toys, or even Rider. Any kind of, sword roleplay toys from Japan, the blades are always too short. It's just how it is. But I definitely think it's fun. The Q-Tama that comes with it is really neat as well. Get some cool sounds out of the Seiza Blaster with that. I'm really having fun collecting these Q-Tama. I think they're really cool. They're somewhat basic. They don't do a whole lot on their own, but they do have a pin system that unlocks, different sounds and things with the Seiza Blaster. So there's a lot of fun there to be had. I really like it. So is this a definite must pick up? I mean, if you really want the Q-Tama, although that'll probably show up in a Candy Toy or Gashapon set later down the road. So, you could just wait. If the Q-Tama is the only thing you want, then I would say, yeah, probably wait for a Candy Toy or Gashapon. But I think there's definitely some fun to be had with this. I definitely think, at least half, maybe more of the modes are worth it. There are 1 or 2 in there that I think are kind of just meh. Q-Shot kind of being the sad loser, the fact that it's literally just the bottom portion. I mean, is it terrible? No, it's just definitely the least impressive. Even if they could have found a way to just put this top section on the end to make it look a little bit more solid as a gun, I think that could have really helped, but it is what it is. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'd like to hear your opinions, and please like and share this video, and please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this look at DXQ the Weapon from Uchu Sentai Kyuranger. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching.